where out of these is your favorite place to be? That's kind of a weird way to phrase that. Where I can where I can deal. What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and it is a rainy afternoon, and on Facebook in Zodiac Duelist, I saw someone post that they answered like this quiz, and I thought it'd be fun to take it. So I don't know when this was made. I briefly saw the results of what that guy got. I don't really remember them offhand, but it looked like an older quiz. It doesn't actually say the date anywhere that I can find though. But the quiz is, what kind of deck should you run? Find out on this quiz. So I thought, what better way to find out what deck we should be playing for the coming weeks than take this really outdated quiz. And I thought it could be fun. I will post a link to this in the description. No, I didn't make it, obviously, but I just kind of stumbled upon it. I thought it'd be kind of funny. So what is your age? We are 18 to 24 years old. My gender is male. And then what do you look for in a deck? So there's swarming, fast synchroing. I don't know how those are that different. Strong monsters, nothing. I look for nothing in a deck. Stooping my opponent from doing stuff, or speed. Wow, a lot of these are like the same. I feel like 1, 2, and 6 are all the same answer. Storming, fast synchroing, and speed all seem like they go hand in hand. I like my decks to do nothing. That's why I play Blue Eyes. Where out of these is your favorite place to be? That's kind of a weird way to phrase that. Where I can deal. Okay, so this was clearly made by like a 13-year-old or something, or a 10-year-old. Where I can duel, I guess, is that one. Earth, heaven, the graveyard, I don't care, the water. I think if you don't answer where I can duel, then this is just, I mean, you have to answer. How can I not answer that one? Where did you get an invite to nationals this year? Oh, this was made in 2000. Oh my gosh, 2011. Holy crap. Did you get your invite to nationals this year? Yes. Duh. Of course. No. Yeah. Who wrote that? Rarely. But yes. I was so close, but didn't get one. Let's see. 2011 was before I started playing competitively, so I'll answer yeah. Have you won a deal? I don't know. I've only run duels, games, and matches, but I don't think I've actually won an actual deal. So no, I guess not. Let's move on to number. Oh, I almost did once. I'll answer. I almost did once. Do you think you can beat you in Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, if your spelling indicates anything about how good you are at Yu-Gi-Oh, I would say, of course, as one word. Depends on what kind of deck you're using. It's also a viable option. What attribute? Okay, so this is funny because like it doesn't even say like which attribute would you play, which attribute do you most align with. It just says what attribute and then just lists them: fire, water, earth, all kinds, dark, whatever I find. They don't even put light or wind on there. Or, no, fire's on there. Yeah, because there's 6, and, well, I guess divine's not on there. So they just don't put light or fires, or light or wind. So if you're one of those two, I guess just you can't answer the quiz. All kinds, whatever I can find. Once again, these are some ambiguous sort of answers here. Like, whatever I find, how is that very different from all kinds? I'll put whatever I can find. Altergeist are all different attributes. Are you smart? Let's see, my subs probably say no. No, so we have no, yes, very, and not really. I'll say not really. What kind of music do you like? What are our options here? Heavy metal, rock, punk rock, pop, classical, techno. Those are the only genres of musics. Those are the only genres of music out there that exists. If you like anything that's not on this list, it's not actually music. Legally speaking, this quiz is referred to as the legal definitions for music genres. So if it's not on here, it's not a music genre. I'm gonna put classical just to see what it gives me. What type of card is most important in a deck? Monster cards, spell cards, or trap cards? I mean, what kind of question is this? Who answers? I remember one time when I was in middle school, my friend told me that like his brother came up with a deck that had no monster cards and he could still win with it, which I now realize is like burn. But like at the time, I was like, whoa, no monster cards. Obviously, I mean, monster cards are the best one. Favorite. My favorite food is blood. You see that? Why is that even on here? Favorite food, blood. I guess vampires must be an option. My opponent's sadness for losing. Ice cream, hamburger, chicken, yum. It's like the person who was writing these was like, okay, what's some food options? They write down chicken, and then they're like, oh, that sounds good. And then they like type in yum. And then vegetables. Boy, I think my opponent's sadness when I flip Rivalry of Warlords is like my favorite food. Okay, I think this is a pretty good representation of who we are as a duelist. Let's submit those answers. Let's lock them in and see what happens. Dragon deck. What does that even mean? So, anti-meta must have been all of the nothing options, I guess. And we have plant. Plant would have been the best deck at that time. I imagine if you would have answered that like you beat everyone all the time, that plant, you would have got plant. Fish, not really sure. Fairy, not really sure. Zombie. X-Sabers were also pretty good back then, I believe. Exodia is kind of weird. 6 Samurai deck. And then no deck, which is kind of weird that that's even on there. I guess that must be the nothing. I don't know. It's kind of weird how most of those questions only had 6 options, but there's like 10 possible outcomes. So we need to build a dragon deck. We need to build a 2011 dragon deck, huh? Let me go look up what that means. Okay, so I just looked up, like I just Googled 2011 dragon deck. It seems like the dragon deck that people were playing back then was Disaster Dragon. Now, I don't know if that's what the quiz person was referring to, but I thought it would be funny to actually look at this guy's Disaster Dragon deck. I played pretty casually back then. I mean, I went to like locals and stuff, but I wasn't really playing competitively. However, I do remember cards like these actually seeing metagame play, so I thought as sort of a sort of final part of this video, we could go through this person's Disaster Dragon deck, which must be good because they said that they went 14-1 with it. So yeah, this was back when Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon was at 3, and the main combo was that you wanted to summon it with Red Eyes Wyvern, which says during your end phase, if you did not normal summon or set a monster this turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon a Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. So the main combo here, as you can see, he does have Future Fusion, but you're really just trying to get Wyvern and Darkness Metal Dragon in the graveyard, and then if you don't normal summon, you can special summon it. Now, that might not seem that powerful in context of nowadays, but it wasn't even that good back then, but it was a pretty cool combo. And actually, Red Eyes Wyvern was really expensive for a long time. It was only available, I think, in like a European DS game. I mean, someone's going to correct me, but we can actually just open it up. One thing that's interesting is they actually have the TCG player links still work, which is kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure this came out like a European game, though. Nothing was found. All right. How does that... What even... Oh, there we go. GX Tag Force promotional cards. Yeah, so it was in a DS game. I was right. I knew it. So it sounds really hard to get to. And it's actually pretty funny, too, because there were other cards, I believe, that were like that. Like Blizzard Dragon's another one. As far as the other cards, he's playing Totem Dragon. Pretty classic Disaster Dragon card. I didn't really see that much competitive play, at least that I remember. A really good card, though, is Kawaii Kamiru Drago. This became even better once we eventually got Iron Core of Kawaii Kamiru. I actually, in 2014, at my second WCQ, I played Light Sworns, and I played against Disaster Dragons, and he almost beat me because of Kawaii Kamiru Drago. And a lot of people ask me, I mean, Kawaii Kamiru like just came out in Duel Links or whatever. People ask me like, are Kawaii Kamiru like viable in TCG? They really never have been like the best deck or even like a fantastic like really played rogue deck. But they usually are like an underdog strategy. And I think one of the biggest reasons this deck has seen play is because Kawaii Kamiru Drago in the right format can just completely wreck decks, which is pretty crazy. We see the one Exploder Dragon, pretty straightforward. The Tyrant Dragon seems kind of random, as does the White Knight Dragon, but a Light and Darkness Dragon was pretty popular back then. This card was really popular for a long time. Someone just commented on that Duel Links video, like the top 5 outdated cards that would break Duel Links. Somebody commented Light and Darkness Dragon. That's probably true. I don't know how... this card would be crazy with Cyber Style. dragons. He's just been like random dragon tuners. 3-potted duality. I mentioned this in my reviewing every pot card video. Back in the day, even in decks like this, where you were special summoning a lot, not that this is like the most competitive like deck, but back in the day, everyone just played 3-potted duality because there just weren't as many search cards. I mean, if you look at the actual search cards in this deck, it's really not a lot. So a lot of people just played potted duality, even if their deck was pretty special summon heavy, like this one is supposed to be, just to actually like dig for stuff. We can see all this guy definitely, I guess this was, okay, so this card was reprinted. Gold Tuck's kind of random. 1 Dragon's Mirror. Man, it's so much fun looking at these old school decks. There's so many, people might not remember this if you just like didn't play back then. Like decks these days, I think pretty much right up until, I mean, even 2012 was like, it's pretty much right until the Dragon Ruler ban list, the first one in 2013 when they banned a lot of these cards. A lot of decks, the spells were just a bunch of one-ofs. You had like Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, all that kind of stuff. Pot of Avarice sometimes. Mind Control, I guess, in here as well. You just have so many one-ofs. You just don't see that anymore. Nowadays, it's just all 3-ofs and stuff like that, which makes sense. I mean, it's more consistent. But back in the day, like, really, the monster cards were, like, what you were looking towards as far as, like, your main strategy goes. And then, like, spell cards were just, like, sacky one-ofs and stuff. Got some crazy cards in the extra deck. I think my favorite part was double 5-headed dragon. One for the Future Fusion, one for the Dragon's Mirror. Really putting all the chips in on that. You can see all synchro monsters, basically. Iron Chain Dragon. Randomly, this used to be like played, which is pretty crazy. It's crazy to think about what the bar, how low the bar was set for like synchro monsters. And then lastly, we have the side deck. Notice the 3 copies of Solidarity. Other than that, though, like the side deck isn't even that bad. We got some Thunder Kings, Veilers, D-Prisons, not Dimensional Barrier, Dimensional Prison. This card used to be ridiculous and actually saw play through 2012, which is pretty wild to think about. A lot of the cards that we look at nowadays and say, man, the card's really outdated. They were seeing play in decks like Dino Rabbit and Windups and Inzectors. We like think back to those formats and like think about, yeah, man, like doing Rescue Rabbit into Logia and then Tour Guide into Levier into another Logia or a Dolka or something. That was really crazy. Or like Dragonfly, Hornet, pop your opponent's field. That was really crazy. Wind Up Hand Loop. That was really crazy. And while it is true, a lot of those old school decks, well, old school, 2012, I mean, it's like 6 years ago or whatever, a lot of those decks really had like these cards like Dimensional Prison in there. A lot of older school cards were found in those decks, just not in the monster section, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, though, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to take the quiz that I just took, it'll be in the description below. Then maybe you can go Googling and see what the 2011 version of that strategy was. This was actually a really fun walk through memory lane. I kind of just want to take the quiz as a meme, obviously, but it was kind of funny to see that some of the questions were pretty hilarious. Well, yeah, kind of walking through memory lane and looking at this Disaster Dragon list brought up some good old memories. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, though. I will see you later. If you want me to take more Yu-Gi-Oh quizzes, maybe I could. It probably will just be a one-of thing, though. And thanks so much for watching. Bye.